Hello everyone, today we are going to start the next chapter of accountancy, that is recording of transactions 1. Today we are going through the basics of this recording, that is the rules for debit and credit. Whenever a business transaction takes place, it has two aspects. A transaction is one, but the aspects are two. They are debit and credit. The entire accounting system depends on debit and credit. For example, if I run a textile shop and if I go to the wholesaler to buy some shirts, say for 10 of them at rupees 100 per piece, so the total cost comes to 1000. Between the wholesaler and me, an exchange takes place. He gives me the shirt pieces, I give him the money. As far as my business, that is textile shop, is concerned, something comes in and something goes out. So we can see that 10 pieces of shirts comes in and cash of rupees 1000 goes out. So these are the two aspects of the transaction. There are basically three types of accounts. They are real, personal and nominal. Real and nominal collectively are considered as impersonal accounts. Real account consists of tangible real assets and intangible real assets. Tangible, that means which things can be seen, felt, and touched, like plant and building, machinery, furniture, fixtures. Intangible assets are the things which cannot be seen, felt, and touched, like any copyright, licensing, or a goodwill of a company. Nominal account consists of all the day to day expenses, also incomes and gains. So this collectively considered as impersonal account. The other set of accounts are personal accounts, that means where the name of any artificial legal person, that is any other business organization, physical or natural person, that is a person from whom either we buy or to whom we sell, that is a person, a debtor or creditor, and representative personal account, that means a person's bank or any other financial institutes. So these are the main three personal accounts. The rules for real, personal and nominal account. Personal account, debit the receiver, credit the giver. That means the person who is either receiving money or goods, his account will be debited. Credit the giver, that means the person whose account either he is giving money or any goods or any asset, that person's account is credited. Real is pure, what comes in, so debit what comes in, credit what goes out. For example, if cash comes in, we will debit cash, and goods goes out, then we will credit goods. So debit what comes in and credit what goes out for a real account. Third rule for nominal account is debit all expenses and losses, credit all incomes and profits. These are the three golden rules of accounting, and these are helpful for preparing the journal entries. If anything comes into the business, we have to debit it. For example, if we buy any asset or goods, it will be debited. If anything goes out of the business, we have to credit it. For example, for buying this thing, if we pay money, so cash goes out, so cash would be credited. If somebody receives something from a business but does not pay money, we have to debit him. That is, debit the receiver. If somebody gives something to the business and we do not pay him money, we will credit him, that is, credit the giver. If there is an expense or loss, we should debit it. There are lot many expenses in a business. They are salary, interest, rent, etc. If there is an income or gain, we have to credit it. Just like expenses, there are Similar incomes, that is interest received or rent received. Journal entry. The journal entry should be prepared in a specific format and it should be prepared neatly with a pencil and scale only. The format is like this: date, particulars, LF, debit and credit. And for debit amounts, we have to give a spacing, and for credit amount, we have to give a paragraph. So when we purchase anything, the amounts, or in particular it should be start from beginning, and for credit it should be written while leaving the space, and same way in debit the amount is to be written, and credit also the amount is to be written in this alignment manner. The specification of that particular journal entry on that particular date should be mentioned here in the form of narration. This is the format and the method of passing journal entry. Now we'll be seeing certain rules for journals, that means how we are going to debit or credit things. Narration is a short explanation of every transaction captured under each journal entry. Under each journal entry, narration is to be written in paragraphs. There will be a debit and a credit entry for any transactions. Also, the amounts in debit and credit should be same. As you can see the example over here, furniture account debited to Tendulkar account. So here we haven't paid money to Tendulkar. That is why his name is to be credited. So credit the giver. And furniture account debited because furniture comes in. So there may be either pure real transaction, real nominal transaction, real personal transaction. So there are all combinations of these three types of accounts transactions. Now rule number 1, an increase in asset is debited and same way decrease in asset is credited. There are the examples: purchase, when we purchase goods in cash, purchase account debited to cash account. Purchase of goods on credit, purchase account debited to creditor's account. Here we are not receiving any money, so we have to remember that person's name because we are going to pay him a money which for what we have purchased goods. So his account should be credited. Purchase of asset, asset account debited to cash. If we are purchasing in cash, asset account debited to cash. If the purchase of asset is on credit, asset account debited to the company from which we have purchased the assets. Expenses paid in advance. If any expense is paid before the due date, so until that due date, the expense becomes asset for the firm, and that expense is treated as advance expenses and it will be debited. Advance rent account debited to cash account. Sale of goods or asset. If there is sale, goods goes out and cash comes in. So sale of goods in cash, cash account debited to sales account. If sale of goods is on credit, debtors account debited to sales account. That means again, we are not receiving any money. We have to remember that person's name. So we will write debtors account. Sale of asset, cash account debited to asset account. So here it is a pure real transaction. Debit what comes in, credit what goes out. Depreciation of asset is a reduction in the value of asset. So it is a loss. So depreciation account debited according to nominal rule, debit all losses and expenses. Depreciation account debited to assets account, that is assets value is reducing, assets is going out. Same way, if there is any outstanding income that is receivable, that will also considered as asset and its account will be debited. Outstanding rent account debited to rent account. Rule number 2, an increase in expense is debited and decrease in expenses credited. So expenses are either paid through cash or by check, that is, bank will be affected. When expenses are paid in cash, all the expenses according to the rule of nominal account, expenses account should be debited, and the mode of payment, whether it is cash or it is bank, it should be credited. If the expenses are not paid, they are considered as outstanding. So when the expenses are outstanding, of course they will be debited, but the outstanding of the respective expense should be credited. So you can see here on the screen that salary, rent and office expenses, they all are outstanding. So their outstanding respective are credited with the same amount. Next rule, that is rule number 3, an increase in liability is credited and decrease in liability is debited. As we all know, liability is a financial burden of the firm. So whenever there is increase, it will be on credit side. So if the firm has taken loan, when the loan is taken, cash comes in, so it is a real account, to loan account, that is a liability. Cash account debited to loan account. Same way reverse is the case. When loan is repaid, the liability is decreased. So whenever there is decrease in liability, the liability account will be debited. Loan account debited to cash account. Amount paid for creditors or bills payable. Earlier we have debited the names of people to whom we have to pay money. So now we are actually paying the money at that time. These journal entries are to be passed. Creditors account debited to cash and bank account. Bills payable account debited to cash and bank account. That means what we have opened their account for, either for creditor or for bills payable, it is now closed and the payment is made either through cash or through bank. Next is rule number 4, that is change in equity. Equity is the investment or the capital that is invested in the firm. An increase in equity is credited, decrease in equity is debited. This is the rule. That means when capital or drawings, capital is the money that is invested in the firm for further profit earning, and drawing is the amount that is withdrawn from the firm for their personal use. When cash is brought in the form of capital, cash account debited to capital account. Now, capital is also considered to be an external liability for the firm. Because of the separate entity rule, firm and the owner both are two separate legal individual. That is why cash account will be debited and capital is considered as liability, it is credited. Same way, if the cash is deposited in the bank, so bank balance increases, bank account debited to cash account, because cash goes out from the firm, the cash is going out and it is entered in bank. Drawings. Drawings if are made in cash, drawings account debited. Now drawings are the amounts that are withdrawn by an individual for personal use. The drawings account debited to cash account. That is, drawings are according to nominal rule, they are total expenses or losses, and cash goes out. That means the cash is withdrawn from the firm. Drawings are made in goods or drawings can be made in assets. That means sometimes a businessman can take away the stock of goods for his personal use or any asset for his personal use. So these entries are also to be considered in the books of accounts. The entries for that are drawings account debited to purchase account if the goods are withdrawn, or drawings account debited to asset account if any assets are withdrawn by an individual. Rule number 5 is an increase in revenue is credited and decrease in revenue is debited. Revenue are the incomes on regular basis. So if there is increase, so debit what comes in, and same way if there is decrease, credit what goes out. Cash received from debtors. That means if debts are recovered, so cash comes in, cash account debited to debtors account. Income from other sources, like if the individual has done certain investment somewhere and on that investments, if he received certain interest. So same way, cash comes in, so cash account debited. By what means it is coming in? That is interest. So interest account credited. So interest is credited, that is the revenue. Same way if the interest is received in advance. So cash account debited to debtors account, same way it should be credited. Purchase or sale with a discount. Sometimes an individual offers a trade discount or a cash discount depending on the relation with the third party. If it is a trade discount, it is not mentioned in the journal entry, it is implied and it should be deducted from the amounts. But if there is a cash discount, that is to be clearly mentioned in the journal entry. At the time of purchase, when we are purchasing, we will receive a discount, that is our income. So that discount should be credited. You can see the journal entry. If there is a cash or credit purchase, purchase account debited to cash, if it is cash transaction, to creditors, if it is a credit transaction, to discount account. That means here on purchase, we have received discount and this discount is our income. When there is sales, we have to offer discount to our customer. So same way, if it is a cash or a credit transaction, that that should be debited, discount account debited to sales account. Here the discount is debited because this discount is an expense or a loss to the firm. According to the nominal rule, debit all expenses and losses and credit all incomes and gains. Same way, the discounts, if discounts are received, they are incomes. So that is credited. This is discount received. And the discount that is offered to the customer, this is the expense. So debit the expenses and credit the incomes. So these were all the rules on the basis of which the journal entries are passed on the daily basis, and the journal entries are to be maintained in chronological order. Thank you.